Good morning, and thanks for joining us here this morning. As everyone has heard me say, my goal is to move Louisville in a new direction, to make our city safer, stronger, and healthier for everyone in our city. And to do that, we need to have the most trusted, the best trained, the most transparent police department in America. And so we are taking immediate action to continue to move in that direction. And one of our biggest challenges in achieving that goal is that right now, LMPD is approximately 260 officers short of a fully authorized team. That is less officers available when you or your family are in need of help. Less officers available to respond to emergency situations, and less officers available to address our violent crime crisis in our city. We need those officers. They are essential to having a safer city. And folks, if we want to fill those positions with good, trusted officers that we all want, we must pay them competitive wages, especially compared to benchmark cities and other police departments in our own county. These are the heroes who step up for us in our greatest moments of need. These officers and their families make sacrifices, and they deserve to know that their community has their back in return. Over the past 8 months, we've been working hard to negotiate 2 contracts for our police officers. And I'm proud of what we've all accomplished together, because these 2 new collective bargaining agreements set forth a standard to better support our first responders and the families who depend on them. I want to thank all of our partners in this. Ryan Nichols from the Fraternal Order of Police, who's here with us today, our team members at Louisville Metro Government who helped negotiate the contract, LMPD, and more. We are putting forward a contract that can and will make a difference to make our city safer. In terms of the process, these contracts are now before Metro Council for them to vote on. And I want to thank every member of Metro Council for their serious consideration of these contracts, for the public hearings that they are holding to get community impact, and I encourage them to continue to listen and to continue and to support these contracts as proposed. They represent our commitment to recruitment, retention, and the overall well-being of our law enforcement officers. They also show our commitment to transparency, accountability, and the collective safety of our entire community. And that means every single person in our city. Here are some of the details. First, there is a proposed 22% salary increase over the course of the 4-year term of the contract. For fiscal year 2024, there will be a 7% increase, and back pay will be issued retroactively to July 1st, 2023. There'll be a 5% increase in each of the 3 subsequent fiscal years. In the end, this will result in starting salaries going from approximately $52,000 a year to nearly $67,000 a year by July of 2026. And in addition to the salary increases, this agreement also has holiday and annual leave count as days worked for purposes of overtime calculation. This will help lead to a better work-life balance for all of our hardworking officers, ultimately ensuring that they show up stronger and healthier for their job. Through these contracts, Louisville Metro Government and the Fraternal Order of Police will also collaborate to improve mental and physical health screening programs for LMPD. And once established, members will be required to take an annual screening. And this makes sense because our officers go through a lot every day. They need strong mental and physical health care support. We must make that a priority for them. Now, one of the main questions we've received is how will this contract help improve our transparency efforts? Both the chief and I are committed to openness and transparency with everyone in Louisville as we continue to reform and improve how our police department operates. And I'm glad to share that these agreements will further enhance and expand those efforts to ensure transparency and accountability. These agreements preserve more records. They also further define the process for misconduct investigations to more clearly ensure timeliness and review of prior discipline. And they clarify the circumstances for which body cameras may be remotely accessed for live viewing for safety investigative, or tactical purposes. These agreements have accomplished a lot, and we should all be proud of what we've achieved by working together. And they've received a lot of support from the officers themselves, with over 90% of the officers supporting them. I encourage Metro Council to support these contracts, and together we will continue to make our city safer. Next, let me introduce our Chief of Police, Jacquelyn Gwinn-Villaroel. Chief?
Good morning. I just am elated that we are here today and that the mayor has been committed in ensuring that we are one of the best paid police departments within the state of Kentucky. We're now at a space where we need to be competitive in our wages to ensure that we are attracting the best and brightest officers to join our LMPD family. I also want to thank the FOP president, Ryan Nichols, for coming to the table and truly negotiating in a fair, reasonable manner so that we can come to this place where we are today. As you've heard from the mayor and all the details within the contract, we must attract officers who have the passion and the drive to serve our community, as well as being able to take care of themselves and their families. I encourage you to understand this today to the community. You can pay your officers well and still require accountability from us. And you will get that, and you are receiving that as we move this department forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief. Next, I'd like to introduce Ryan Nichols, who's the president of the local Fraternal Order of Police. Ryan and I don't always agree on every issue, but we certainly have collaborated well on this, and we both share the same goal: to support the hardworking men and women who work every day to keep our city safe. Ryan, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mayor. And the mayor made excellent points on the key parts of this contract. This has been a collaborative effort, a long negotiation process, and it's been a pleasure actually working with this administration and this command staff to try to increase the level of public safety that the department's able to provide to the citizens of our community. And it's our community. It's where we live, work, and play. This has been a long process, but it's a very valuable contract to the efforts that the mayor spoke on. And we encourage Metro Council to approve this contract and support it, as we do members of the community. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. And finally, I want to introduce a leading member of our community who has interacted with members of LMPD for many, many, many years in many different ways, in many different circumstances, and can speak a little bit from why, from her perspective, she too thinks this contract should be approved by Metro Council. Kim Moore is CEO of Joshua Community Connectors, and it's a team that's dedicated to helping young people throughout our community, helping young people have a path in life that leads to positive outcomes for them, and help them not turn down streets and roads and opportunities that will lead them in the wrong direction. She's doing amazing things working with our youth that also have had encounters with our justice system and helping them lead a better life. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, Kim Moore.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I was asked this morning why I supported this contract, and I had thought about it. And so, you know, one of the things I talk about is as long as my family's okay with my decisions, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And so I'm part of GVI, which is Group Violence Intervention, which we're on the ground with people who have committed all type of crimes. And I couldn't do what I do and stay safe without the help of LMPD. You know, one of the things I said is I've talked to my friends who are working in smaller departments who've left LMPD, and they left for more money and more safety. And so in Mount Washington, you don't have 13-year-olds with AK-47s on the ground like we do here. Been on the ground since April of 2002, 22 years, and the city's more dangerous now than it's ever been. I'm so grateful that the mayor decided to support this contract, and and we all do. I want good officers to be compensated, and I want bad officers gone. And I just want to say really quick, and I'll be done. People talk about a level of accountability in the police department, and they want good officers to turn in bad officers. I want you people in the community to turn in your sons and your daughters and all of your kids who are committing crimes. Over 220 young black boys have been killed in 3 years. LMPD didn't kill any of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. And before we open it up to questions from the media, I just want to share one anecdote that I experienced over the weekend. Saturday morning, I was coming to a church service, and I ran into a former LMPD official who is now working for another local police department. And I said hello to him. I encouraged him to check out the new contract and come back. And he told me he was one step ahead of me because he already was coming back. When he heard about this new contract, he decided that he is going to leave his job and come back to LMPD. So I firmly believe that while that is just one story, there are going to be many more like that to help bring folks back to LMPD that had previously been part of the department and help recruit and retain new officers to join this growing team that's focused on being, as the chief said, the best police department in America. I encourage Metro Council to improve this contract, and I look forward to working collaboratively with Metro Council and folks on LMPD, the FOP, to continue to make our city safer, stronger, and healthier. Thank you all very much, and we're happy to take any questions from the media.
Chief, you talked about briefly the ability for this new contract to enhance accountability. Can you just provide a few specifics as to how that happens?
Yes, absolutely. So when we are paying our officers a competitive wage and our policies are strong and we are truly committed in investigating those officers who commit infractions and do it in a thorough way that the community can have trust and faith enough that we are addressing a concern and an issue, that's accountability. That is accountability. It's accountability for our officers to understand where they stand. It's to ensure that the community understands that they will get a notification as to where their investigation has ended. And also, we as a department must ensure that we are doing everything we can to correct ill behavior, provide quality training, and to ensure that we can retain those officers that believe in the culture that is set today, the new LMPD, where we are moving today. And so with that, yes, accountability can be issued and rendered across, like Ms. Kim has said, from the community as well as LMPD, and we're doing that. I will submit to you on last year. Last year alone, we have opened up more internal investigations within our department because we're catching those infractions of our officers to ensure that we are addressing those deficiencies, and we're doing it in a timely manner. And our officers, yes, they get disciplined, but they appreciate that so that we're able to preserve their careers from going down a path that may land them in a more serious way of life. And so again, I appreciate that question, but yes, you can have accountability and still pay our officers well.
When it comes to where these officers are going, are you guys more concerned about smaller departments in Kentucky? Are you looking at other cities in Kentucky like Lexington? Or is it bigger cities nearby like Cincinnati, Nashville, Chicago, Columbus?
It's all of the above and more. It's attracting folks that are already in law enforcement to join LMPD, and it's also getting people from around our city, people who want to be part of the solution, people who might right now be social workers, they might be teachers, they might be working some other job in business, but they want to be a part of the solution. They want to be a public servant who's going to help keep our city safer, and now maybe they will see that there's a better opportunity to join LMPD and be a part of the solution. So it's all of the above.
Can you clarify if this range also means to sergeant, and can the separate contracts for captains and lieutenants also expect some type of raise as well?
Yes, there were two different contracts. Both of them have the same salary increases, right? Yeah, both of them have the same salary schedules and salary increases.
So everyone is getting an overall 20%.
Everyone who is part of the FOP collective bargaining agreements, yes.
Okay,
eventually approved by the council in the bargaining?
We don't expect that to be the case. There's a lot of misunderstanding out there about what is in a collective bargaining agreement versus what is in a consent decree versus what the chief and her command staff can do on their own through just implementing policies. And so we are confident that this does not get in the way of that at all. In fact, some of the feedback that we've heard from the Department of Justice, to go back to the previous question to the chief about accountability, is the DOJ thinks that when there are internal investigations, that they should be completed as quickly as possible and that they shouldn't linger for years. That is in the best interest of everyone. And so you'll see in this contract here, back to the chief's answer, is that this contract also puts pressure on the chief and her team to get these internal investigations done in as soon as possible so we can give the community answers, so the officers have answers, and there's clarity for everybody.
Mayor, there's been criticism that these negotiations were not transparent, that they were held behind closed doors. To respond to that?
They're like all union negotiations. These have been with the parties that are parties to the contract. We have had a significant number of community listening sessions since I've been mayor. I would guess at least 10 that date back to last January. We continue to listen to the community every day. The chief and her team are out in the community every day, every week, listening to the community. She's implemented new programs like Meet the Beat Officer that happens in Kroger parking lots and other public places. Events at barbershops where conversations and cuts, is that what it's called? Something? Okay. It was a clever title. To get folks that are in barbershops to hear and feedback and get to know their officers. We are doing more than ever before to engage with the community, to strengthen trust between the entire community and LMPD. And as part of building those relationships, we're listening.
Does the passing of the Safer Kentucky Act put any additional strain on officers here in the city?
We are confident that with this contract approved, we can continue to build the LMPD necessary to ensure that our city is safer than it is today, which is our goal. Thank you all very much. We appreciate you for coming.